Another thing we're going to look at in this section is percentiles. So Sierra wants to apply for scholarship so she can attend college. Her cumulative average must be in the 75th percentile of her class to qualify. So what is a percentile? Well, a percentile is a value below which a certain percent of the data falls. The median is also called the 50th percentile because 50% of the values in the data set are below the median. So as the 75th percentile, the 75th percentile would mean that whatever her mark is, 75% of her class has to be below that value. So the cumulative averages of her class are listed there. So these are all the students in her class and what their averages are. So part A wants us to construct a stem and leaf plot. And a stem and leaf plot is a good way to organize data from smallest to greatest, which helps us greatly determine the percentiles. So the stem and leaf plot for this data set would look something like this. It's in descending order. So for example, this 9 and 4 means that somebody got a 94. This 8 and the 1, 2, 5, 8, 9, 9, 9 means someone got an 81, someone got an 82, an 85, an 88, an 89, an 89, and an 89, and so on and so forth, all the way down to this last person who got a 34. Okay, so that's what the stem and leaf plot for this data would look like. We saw that back in the first section for this chapter. So then it asks us to determine the median. So there are 30 data values, which means that 15 of them would be on the top end and 15 of them would be on the bottom end. And if we count, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And that's the top half. And then the bottom half, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So that would be the bottom half. So we can see here that my middle values are this 74 and 75. So in order to find the median, it would be the halfway point between 74 and 75. So you might automatically see that and say, well, halfway between 74 and 75 is 74.5. If you don't, that's fine. You can do it the same way we find the average. So we do 74 plus 75 divided by 2. And you'll still get 74.5, which is the median. So it is also the 50th percentile, which is what we just learned about percentiles, which means half of the data is below 74.5 and half of the data is above 74.5. So the C part wants to know, what is the minimum average Sierra needs to qualify for the scholarship? So if we do a little bit of problem solving here, we can say, well, the 75th percentile should be halfway between the highest mark, which would be the 100th percentile, and the median, the middle, the 50th percentile, right? Because 75 is halfway between 50 and 100. 25 from 50 to 75, and 25 more from 75 to 100. So if I just look at the top half of my data, which would be 75 up to 94, right? Because we said 74, 75 is our midpoint. So that's the top half of our data. If we find the midpoint of that, that will give us the 75th percentile. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can fit this in. I'm going to write out all of my scores here. So 75, 75, 76, 76, 3 77s. We might need to do 2 rows. That's okay. 81, 82, 85, 88, 3 89s, and 94. So that is the top half of our data. So then if I do like I do with the mean, or sorry, the median, and I cross off tops and bottoms, just like this, I see that 81 is the middle of that top range, which would mean that's 81 is the 75th percentile, which would mean Sierra would need at least an 81. Okay? So part D asks, what is the percentile rank of if the cumulative average is 58? So basically, what percentile are you at if you have a 58? So percentile rank is the number between 1 and 100 that indicates the percent of cases that fall below the score. So basically, we're looking for the percent for our student here that has 58. So what we do is we count how many total cases divided by how many cases is it until we get to where we want. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cases to 58, right? So to find the percentile rank, we do 6 out of, there are 30 total cases. So 6 out of 30. And that will give us a decimal, which is 0.2. And what is 0.2 as a percent? Well, we just multiply by 100, and it is 20%. So if you have a 58, your percentile rank is 20, or you're in the 20th percentile. Okay? And then F, what is the relationship? Oh, sorry, I missed E. What is the difference between percentile and percentile rank? A percent is, sorry, this isn't even B. A percent is a score out of 100, right? So for example, Sierra would need an 81% to qualify for the scholarship. So the percent is what score they actually get. So score out of 100. Where the percentile rank, she's in the 75th percentile if she has an 81, is how many or what percentage of students are below that score. What percent of students are below your percent? So let's say that Sierra gets an 81. Her percent will be 81% out of 100. Her percentile rank will be the 75th percentile because 75% of students are below her. And what is the relationship between the median and the percentile? So the median, and we saw that in the definition, is equal to the 50th percentile because both of those represent the halfway point.